Have you ever wondered how the next installment in the Superman cinematic universe could redefine the character and set a new tone for the Man of Steel? Well, in this video, we'll explore some intriguing storylines from Superman's comic book history that could potentially change everything in Man of Steel 2. We have kept the storylines relatively new. Every storyline is from the 2000s, as there are lots of adaptations for old ones. From iconic battles to deep philosophical dilemmas, these storylines offer exciting possibilities for the future of Superman on the big screen. Number 6. What's So Funny About Truth, Justice, and the American Way, 2001. Imagine a single-issue comic called What's So Funny About Truth, Justice, and the American Way that comic book fans absolutely loved when it came out in Action Comics number 775. Back then, some folks thought Superman had become a bit outdated. You know, like how some DC movie fans feel about him today, calling him too invulnerable and kind of dull. But in that comic, something awesome happened. Superman took on the Elite, a group sort of like the Authority, known for their super extreme methods, even when it came to dealing with villains. And in doing so, Superman showed why he's more relevant now than ever. He proved that his way of being a hero is still super important in today's world. And guess what? They even turned this story into an animated movie called Superman vs. the Elite, so it's clear that it could work on the big screen too. If they use this storyline as the foundation for Man of Steel 2, it could totally change the character's vibe and make Superman stand out from the other heroes in DC. Number 5. Brainiac, 2008. You know, it's kinda surprising that Brainiac, one of Superman's biggest nemeses, hasn't made it to the big screen yet. But there's this awesome storyline in Action Comics number 866 to 870, where Brainiac takes the spotlight and fans absolutely love it. In this story, Brainiac shows just how powerful and menacing he can be, and he goes head-to-head with Superman with a little help from Supergirl. Now, if they were to adapt this storyline for a Superman sequel, it would not only bring Brainiac into DC, but also introduce Supergirl. And the cool thing is, it's a chance to give the character a bit of a fresh start without involving Lex Luthor too much and having Lois play a minor role. But the catch is that there's a significant death in the Brainiac story that might not quite fit in Man of Steel 2. However, they could put a similar twist on things to keep the story intense and emotional. So imagine Brainiac making his grand entrance on the big screen. That would be a game changer. Number 4. Up, Up and Away, 2006. You know, it's not often we see Superman without his superpowers, but Up, Up and Away is one of those times when it actually works pretty darn well. This story, spread across Action Comics 837 to 840 and Superman number 650 to 653, is all about Superman going back to his roots as Clark Kent. He's working his tail off as a journalist, using his reporting skills to protect Metropolis. And guess who the bad guy is? None other than the disgraced Lex Luthor himself. It's the kind of story that would fit right in with the current film series, no doubt about it. Oh, there are plenty of reasons why Up, Up and Away would be a fantastic plot for a Man of Steel 2 movie. First off, it would give Henry Cavill ample chance to really dive into the Clark Kent persona, something we didn't see much of in Man of Steel. We'd finally get that investigative journalist side of him. And let's not forget Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. This storyline would be his chance at redemption, transforming the character into the menacing, brilliant villain he's meant to be, rather than the somewhat bratty and almost comical version we got. It's like a second shot at greatness for both Cavill and Eisenberg, and that's something fans would love to see. Number 3. Superman and the Legion of Superheroes, 2007. You know, one of the timeless aspects of Superman's history is his connection with the Legion of Superheroes. These futuristic heroes from 1,000 years down the line have been a part of many Superman stories, dating all the way back to the golden age of comics. Now, if we're talking about a feature film, there's a gem of a story called Superman and the Legion of Superheroes found in Action Comics number 858 to 863. In this tale, Brainiac zips back in time to recruit Superman to help the Legion deal with some major trouble in the year 3008. So picture this, Superman teaming up with these superpowered pals from the future, facing all sorts of enemies and saving their world. It's a recipe for an incredible movie, filled with jaw-dropping superpowers, mind-bending sci-fi, and a level of spectacle that could set the Man of Steel films apart from the rest of DC. And hey, it's not just fans who would be thrilled, the studio would probably be jumping for joy at the idea of a whole new franchise with the Legion. It's a win-win for everyone. Number 2. For Tomorrow, 2004. Here, Superman's up in the cosmos, duking it out with a bad guy when suddenly, back on Earth, a million people just vanish into thin air. When he swoops back to our planet and learns about this mysterious mass disappearance, it hits him like a ton of bricks. Why couldn't he save them all? Doubt creeps in like never before, and he's determined to get to the bottom of it and put a stop to the sinister forces behind it all. That's the core of the Superman tale known as For Tomorrow, which you can find in Superman number 204 to 215. Now, people have mixed feelings about this story, but let's not forget the stunning artwork by Jim Lee, which is a real standout. And if you streamlined and adapted For Tomorrow in a way similar to how Marvel Studios crafts their films, you'd have the recipe for an epic Superman flick with loads of heart. It'd showcase all the best bits of the Superman character. Plus, it's a serious story, but it doesn't have to be all dark and gritty. For Tomorrow could bring a touch of fun and vibrant colors to DC while still diving deep into some thoughtful storytelling. It's like a win-win for fans and the big screen. Number 1. Camelot Falls, 2006. What if Superman's good intentions ended up causing chaos down the road? That's the whole deal in the Camelot Falls storyline. So here's the scoop. A mysterious time-traveling stranger drops by to chat with Superman in the here and now. They've got a warning, though, about a pretty grim future for Metropolis. It's like a post-apocalyptic nightmare. Now, the big idea here is that every time Superman and the whole gang of DC Universe heroes tackle a crisis and come out on top, it actually paves the way for an even bigger, nastier problem later on. It's a bit like a never-ending cycle of the bigger they are, the harder they fall. So the question is, should Superman and his buddies pump the brakes on their heroic deeds to prevent this bleak future from happening, or do they keep on doing their thing, even if it means facing even tougher challenges in the long run? These are the questions that make top-notch Superman tales, the ones that dive into the deep stuff, like pondering the big questions about power and heroism. I mean, let's face it, watching Superman simply throw punches to win every time can get a tad repetitive. So imagine this, a movie where Superman has to grapple with a real head-scratcher, whether his acts of heroism today might actually be causing trouble down the road. Now that's a thought-provoking concept. Fans, they're all about those post-apocalyptic glimpses into the future and epic showdowns, right? Well, this storyline serves up both of those goodies on a silver platter. It's like a double scoop of excitement with Superman in the middle of a mind-bending dilemma and a future that's gone topsy-turvy. Well, that's it for today. Which of these Superman storylines do you think would make the most compelling Man of Steel 2 film? Do you have your own ideas for the next Superman adventure? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more exciting discussions about your favorite superheroes. Stay tuned for the next video, you won't want to miss it.